Okay, so we are going to get started. Good morning. Welcome. And we're going to start today in a child's pose. And if you want to add to this child's pose, like I'm going to use a blanket, a block, and a Coregous ball. So this is totally optional. You can just take a regular child's pose. But today we're working on the core. And I really love to get into the core by feeling what's happening in our bellies. So if you're ready to join me, I'm going to place this Coregous ball on top of my block, right? And if you don't have this, no worries. You can use a bolster or even put a pillow in between your thighs. And you're just going to get a little pressure into the belly here and reach your arms forward and just lengthen and release over the prop, whatever prop you're using. And even though the arms are forward, separate the hands a little wider than shoulder width distance so you can soften the top of the shoulder blades. Relax the neck, relax the muscles of your face. Bring all of your awareness to your belly. If you do have this Coregous ball, you'll feel that pressure. So as you exhale, let the ball push into your belly and help you release the breath more fully. As you inhale, expand the belly against the ball or against your pillow, whatever you're using. Exhale, release the breath, empty out the belly. Relax the neck and shoulders, relax your facial muscles. So let's do that for 3 more breaths here. Smooth inhales and smooth exhales. As you inhale, start to walk your hands over to the right. So you feel the stretch is more on the left side. And I especially want you to think about the left armpit region and the outer border of your shoulder blade. So once you feel that stretch, that left hand is planted, but almost imagine you're going to drag it towards you or towards the left side of your waist, just an inch or so, and see if you can feel the muscles around the armpit engage. Once you created that engagement, just rest in the pose for a breath. Inhale, walk it through center. Take your time. Go over to the left. Feel that side stretch. Bring your awareness to the armpit and the outer border of your shoulder blade. And then imagine your hand is like super glued to the ground, but you're trying to drag it just an inch closer towards the right side of your waist. And see if you can feel that area engage. Once you got that engagement, rest in the pose for a breath. And then we'll inhale back to center. And exhale in the center. Inhale, walk your hands towards you. So you come on up. Okay, we're gonna do one more ball massage before we start strengthening. So this could be done with either size, right? You could even use a pair of therapy balls. Sometimes if I use a pair, I have to prop it up on a block or a blanket. I'm gonna use the alpha. And then I want something between my inner thighs. So we're gonna strengthen our core today. And so we're gonna warm up this area. You could use the inflatable, right? You could also use a bolster or a blanket. So whatever you've got, you're gonna compress the side of your waist here and notice that feeling. Yeah. I need something between my inner thighs. I'm a side sleeper, and that just is more helpful for me, but it's not absolutely necessary for most people. And notice, does it feel better to have your head on your arm, or do you want to have your arm forward and put something comfy under your head? So please adjust as much as you need to here. And then once you're in the position, continue to adjust as much as you need. But once you've settled in, let's notice the feeling of the side waist just melting over that prop. And then we'll activate it. So super small, tuck your tailbone and notice what that feels like. And then inhale, stick your tailbone back behind you like you're sticking your butt out. Exhale as you tuck your tail forward. This is a pretty small movement. And inhale as you stick your tailbone back behind you. Deep breaths here. Relaxing and softening the muscles of your face. So this massage is going to be so helpful for us because it's going to warm up some of our deep musculature that is a part of our core. But this is also something that you can do after a workout to recover, or after a long drive, or sitting at a desk for a long period of time, because the lower back muscle that's on your side gets really stiff from prolonged sitting. So if you do have any type of lower back pain or tension, just think about getting on your therapy ball or laying on a bolster or a pillow to release this area from time to time. It's going to be really helpful for you. One more breath here. And then when you feel ready, let's roll onto our back and notice if you feel a difference between the two sides. This is my favorite part. It might be really subtle, it might be really profound. So whatever you're experiencing, it's totally valid. If you don't notice a difference, that's fine too. Take one more breath here. Let's bring knees to chest. Give yourself a hug and then roll over to your other side. All right, I want to face the screen, so I'm going to rock my way up and flip around. But you can keep it simple. Yeah, so usually if I'm trying to release this area, I might stay here for a long period of time, but we're just trying to warm it up and get ready for our strengthening work. So we're not going to stay here for too long, but I do want you to make sure you feel comfortable. So make adjustments if you need to, right? And listen to your body, listen to your breath. Once you have settled in, start that action where you exhale, create a little tuck. And inhale, stick your tail out behind you. And exhale as you tuck your tail underneath you. Inhale as you stick your tail out behind you. Go at your own pace. This movement might be really small, and that's fine. If at any point you want to stop the movement and just rest here, that's also welcome. So do what feels best for you. We're all different. So the deep low back muscle, the quadratus lumborum, is underneath some other tissue. Right? And some of that tissue overlaps with your latissimus dorsi. And on the front, of course, we have our obliques, which is an abdominal muscle. And what we want is we want to send blood flow and circulation to all of the surrounding tissue and wake up the muscle fibers so that they are ready to engage and support you through your practice and through your life off of the mat. So these little muscle spindles that send messages and also respond to massage are called Ruffini endings. Of course, the person who figured that out is named Ruffini, right? Just a little fun fact there, not anything that you need to know in order to practice. Just a few more breaths. See if you can relax and soften the shoulders, the neck, the muscles of your face. Just making the most out of our time here. One more breath. All right, let's lay on our back. You can put your therapy ball to the side. I'm going to remove this blanket so I have nothing under my head. And let's notice how we feel. And as you feel ready, let's exhale, bring knees to chest. Hold on to your kneecaps. Inhale, push the knees forward just until your arms are straight. Exhale as you draw your knees in, flattening the lumbar curve. So let's do that a few more times. Inhale, push the knees forward just until your arms are straight. Notice the lumbar curve returns. Exhale as you pull the knees in, the lumbar curve flattens. This is important, right? As you inhale, this is your neutral spine. We're going to do some strengthening work in neutral, but we're also going to do some strengthening work with an imprint. That's when your back is flat. Two more. One more. This time, as you inhale, push the knees forward. And then bring your arms down by your side. Create 90 degrees in your knees. So this is a Pilates tabletop, right? And then exhale as you flatten your lumbar curve while keeping the knees stacked. So that's going to come from the abdominals. The arms are down, press down into your arms. The chest is broad. We're just going to warm up the core here with heel taps. So as you inhale, tap your right heel to the floor. Exhale, pick it back up. Don't let your back lift off the ground. Inhale, tap your left heel. Exhale, pick it back up. Notice your breath. For me, I like to use the Pilates ha breath. So if that's helpful for you, use it. As long as you're breathing consistently with your movement, that's all that matters. We're going to do this 5 more times, right, left, at your own pace. Try to keep the neck relaxed. So we're training our bodies that we can do abdominal work without involving the neck. Right, there's going to be some exercises that we do today that will involve the neck. But we want to have a little more control over that. 3 more, right, left. Keep your shoulders grounded, chest broad. 2 more. One more, right, left. And then hug your knees into your chest. And give yourself a little rock side to side. So in this class, just like any other class, you always have permission to rest, right? And if I say we're gonna do 8 reps and you're tired after 5, then you're done at 5. Especially if you're feeling any pain. We're not trying to work through pain. What that does is it strengthens the habit of the pain response. So if you feel any pain in your body at any time, take a break and then come back into it. You're going to be stronger, I guarantee it, if you reduce that habitual pain pattern. Right, so I'm not sure how strong that pattern is for you. I have some serious pain in my body, so that's where I'm speaking from. Just like a place of love. I just want you guys to take care of yourself. Okay, let's get our bands in the mix. So I have 2 bands here. One that has been tied into knots, and this is going to be super fun. Yay! Right? So this loop, I'm going to put one of my feet in this loop. Right? There we go. If you don't have a loop tied, you can tie a loop around your ankle. If you have a band with handles, because I've bought some bands with handles before on Amazon, you can put your foot in the handle. So we're going to start with that. This is just like a regular loop, right? And we'll use that in a different way. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example, and then you can join me and I'll watch you guys. But my right foot is in the band. My left hand is holding the other side, right? So here we go. You can put your hand in the loop on the other side, or you could just hold it. So it's super simple. But what I want you to do is try to have a neutral wrist. So try not to flex and bend your wrist or do anything in the arm that causes a lot of tension. So progression 1 would be with my left foot grounded. I'm going to lower this right foot to any angle and then slowly bring it back up, right? This is progression 1. Progression 2, this leg is up. Lower down any angle and bring it back up. Keep your back flat. Progression 3 is where I'm also going to move my arm. So that's where I'm going to reach overhead as I reach through the leg. And exhale, come back to the starting position. And inhale, reach. And exhale back to the starting position. So if you've already begun, do at least 10 on that side, and I'm just going to check you guys out. Yes, have fun with it. And remember, you can always go back to an earlier progression if you need more support. Ooh, you guys look really good. So I want you to think about lengthening that cross pattern, right? So the arm's reaching, the leg is reaching, but the back is flat. Draw the front ribs in and keep your neck relaxed. Really good. All right, count at your own pace. So maybe you have 7 or 6 more left. Deep breaths. Reach. Oh, that looks so good. Good. However many you do on this side, remember to listen to your body about what's the right number for you. Just remember the number so you can try to even it out with the other side. So I'm just going to do 5 more here. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Excuse me if my breath is really loud. I just got these AirPods and I know that they're really good quality sound, but maybe it's a little TMI. All right, after you've finished your set, hug your knees in, give yourself a rock. Just imprint in your memory like what that felt like so you can compare it to the other side. So what I love about using the band for this exercise is that you can actually feel your glute on the leg that's stretching out. Or like, let's switch. And why that's important is so many times we're dominating with our hip flexor, right? And that's okay if you feel your hip flexor, it is working, but we really want to get posterior chain involved. So that's going to be the glute on the leg that's extending. All right, so same number that you did on the other side, as long as your body's okay with it, right? The back is going to be imprinted, and then begin. Inhale, reach. Exhale, return slowly. And imagine that this band is even more thick and strong, and go more slowly to add resistance and to add mindfulness. Inhale, reach, feel that engage. Exhale. Smooth inhale and smooth exhale. Keep the neck and shoulders as relaxed as you can. Obviously, there's some shoulder work happening, but we don't want it to feel like pain. That's not good. So whatever number you did on the other side, try to match that here. And we're all going at our own pace, which is a good thing. So when you're done, just hug your knees into your chest and give yourself a break. So that's even for me. I didn't do very many because I didn't want you guys to wait for me. And once you've done both sides, even amount, take off the band, hug your knees in. So we're going to up level this into a variation of a hollow body exercise, which is one of the greatest things you can do for your core, as long as it's not pain inducing. So if you have a loop band, use that around both legs. If you don't need a band for this one. It's just fun, right? So I'm a lover of toys. So now both legs are up towards the ceiling and you have a band or you don't have a band. Either way it works. If you don't have a band, you can also use your Coregous ball and put it between your inner thighs or between your ankles. So you can still add props and have fun, always. So this is one where you can keep your head down or lift your head if that's okay for your neck. So let's notice what it feels like to lift the head and the chest and reach your arms forward, right? And then we add the movement. You're going to lower the legs any amount, keep the back flat, hollow. Exhale, lift the legs up. Up level would be arms reach. Exhale, like you're pressing through thick air as your hands come down. Inhale. Now you can do this with the head up or the head down. You can do this with the arms or without the arms. I'm going to ask you to do 8 more, whichever version you've decided to do. Reach, get long, exhale. Pick up your legs with your abdominals. As you lower your legs, engage the glutes. Feel the booty cheeks work. Exhale, lift from the belly. And then I want you to get your lats involved too. So like I said, it's like you're moving through thick air with your hands. When you bring your arms down, the palms face down, imagine you're pushing against something and plugging your armpits. All right, so 4 more, getting the glutes fired up, the core, the lats. 3 more. Right, it's really a whole body exercise here. 2 more. And then 1 more. All right, let's take that band off. Hopefully that was fun for you. And then give yourself a little rock side to side. We are going to get off the floor and do more work in a quadruped and standing. But before we do that, let's give ourselves a twist. Arms are going to reach out to a T or a goalpost. Exhale, knees over to the right. Maybe you turn your head and notice the breath in this twist. Let the legs be super heavy. Relax your belly. Give your body a chance to rest before we demand more work. Smooth inhale and smooth exhale. Whenever you feel ready, inhale, bring your head to center, bring your knees to center. Take that twist over to the other side. Relax the belly once you get there. Maybe you turn your head and breathe into the twist. One more breath here. Inhale, head to center, knees to center, hug it in. And then we'll come up to all fours. I want you to take your time with this transition. If you can roll like a ball, right? It's the Pilates exercise. Then go ahead and practice that a couple times for fun. Hopefully you think it's fun. I know that I'm such a dork. I think this stuff is so much fun. All right. So let's just start with a regular cat-cow to bring a little more blood flow and movement to the spine. And it'll help to stretch out our abs a bit after we did that hollow body exercise. So when you're ready, inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, push and round, pulling the abdominals in, let your head hang. Inhale, shift forward, pelvis, lumbar, mid-back, upper back, gazes forward. Exhale, pelvis, lumbar, mid-back, upper back, head hangs, push away from the floor. Let's do that maybe 3 or 4 more times at your own pace, creating a movement that feels really good for you. So in my classes and with my private clients, I emphasize shoulder strength a lot because our shoulders are so mobile and prone to injury. But as we're starting this series of classes here, I thought about it and I thought, you know what? In order to have healthy shoulders, we also need to have a healthy core and a healthy back because of the muscles that attach onto the back that move the shoulder joint. So definitely next week, we're going to work on some shoulder, upper body strength. But hopefully we get that foundation of core strength here today. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Anytime you need to rest in child's pose, do it. And sometimes you don't need a child's pose, but you just need to come off the wrists and shake out your hands or give yourself a shoulder roll. So whatever you need, whenever you need it, go for it. One more breath here in your child's pose. Just need a sip. And then when you feel ready, inhale, pick yourself up. Let's grab the band with our loops. My right hand is going to be in one loop. My left foot in the other loop. Right, and sometimes it's easier if you just come to sit, put it on, and then come back to your quadruped. It depends on how tight these loops are. Okay, when we come back to our quadruped, this is so much fun. I love my toys. So we're gonna do bird dogs. So that's the opposite arm, opposite leg reach. And you could always just work on the leg, or if you wanna go straight into it with me, let's start by engaging your abs, push into your hands, neck stays long. Inhale, raise the leg and the arm, reach, feel that glute engage. Exhale as you bring it back down. You're just gonna tap the floor for a moment, and then inhale, reach, neck stays long. Exhale, bring it down, slowly with control. Inhale on the reach. Exhale as you lower. So that's 3. I'm gonna watch you guys for a moment. Let's do 7 more. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, reach through the heel. Really get long through that leg. 6 more. Try to keep your torso centered as best as you can. Good. 5 more, your own breath pace. So if it's slower or faster than mine, no big deal. You flow with your breath. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one on this side. Let's hold the reach. Now keep the arm as stable as you can. Pulse the leg. So little lifts with that leg from your glute for 8, up and down. 7, 6, 5. Keep the core strong. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower hand and knee. I'm going to press back to a child's pose. You can do whatever you feel is best. Take a mental snapshot of what that felt like on that side so you can compare with your other side. We want to learn about imbalances, if one side is weaker or stronger or tighter. And then take your time as you switch. So I'm going to put this band on my right foot. This is such a classic strength training exercise. It's so good for us, so good for our back and our core and our glutes and our hamstrings. I mean, really, the whole posterior chain, truly. And there's nothing wrong with doing it without the band, right? You still get the work done. What I love about the band is it helps me to slow down, helps me to feel my glute and my leg a little bit more, which is a good thing. So once you have switched, push into your hands, neck stays long, brace your abs, and then whenever you're ready, lengthen and reach. We did 10 on the other side, so if that number felt good for you, then let's do 10 on this side. Your own pace, lengthen, reach, inhale, exhale, slowly come back, tap down for a moment, lengthen, reach for 8, slowly bring it back in, take your time, lengthen, reach for 7, neck stays long, keep your torso centered, lengthen, reach for 6, oh good, you guys look so good, just maintain that. Belly drawn in, core stays solid, lengthen, reach for 5, and tap it down for just a moment. Lengthen, reach for 4, bring it on in. Lengthen, reach for 3, and slowly come down. 2 more. Stay consistent with your breath. On the last one, we're going to stay in it. The arm is solid. Nothing changes with the arm. Pulse the leg up and down, super small. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Press it back to a child's pose. Notice what you notice. Hopefully you feel some warmth, some tingling. Notice the good sensations. Like what is enjoyable, whether it's during the exercise or after you release the exercise. Okay, we're gonna take the band off, and I'm gonna move my blanket out of the way so we can go to downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width distance apart. Creases of the wrist can be parallel to the front edge of the mat or slightly turned out. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's press into the palms. Get your hips as high as you can. Feel the length in the side body. And if you want to pedal your heels or add any kind of movement here, go for it. We were in that quadruped for a while. We were working the leg and the hip. So give that leg and hip a little time to stretch out. Keep the breath flowing and try to allow your head to hang heavy. As you feel ready, bring your feet to hips width distance apart. Take an inhale. Even this action is a core action. So from your core, walk your hands back to your feet. Right, go more slowly than you usually go. Right, try to feel your abdominals helping you to walk your hands back. And now you're in your forward fold. Bend the knees generously. Generous bend. Let your head hang, arms hang. Even imagine you're holding dumbbells. And then as you exhale next, start to suck the belly button up and in. And then roll the spine up. Inhale. Take as many breaths as you need here. Keep sucking the belly button in. So just like that hollow body exercise we were doing, pull in, pull in, pull in, stacking one bone at a time until finally your head is above the spine. And then let's give ourselves some shoulder rolls. And maintain a smooth flowing breath. Reverse the direction of your shoulder rolls. And let's grab our resistance band because the fun never ends here. So I'm gonna grab the long one that has loops. Right. And you can hold on to the knots or you can bring your hands closer together for this. This is totally gonna be up to you. But let's start with Tadasana. So feet are parallel, hips width distance apart. Try to stack your shoulder girdle above the pelvis and notice your neutral lumbar spine. So we want to keep our back neutral and just very lightly lengthen the tailbone down. So it's not a tuck, right? I don't want my knees to buckle. I don't want to erase my lumbar curve. I just want to create a little more stability there. And then we take our arms up overhead. So I want to maintain that stability, avoid arching the back, and avoid shrugging the shoulders. If you're shrugging, take your hands wider, right? Arms firm, so firm your triceps here. We're gonna inhale, side bend to your right. Now, once you've gone into your side bend as far as you can, stretch the band and try to bring your right hand to your right thigh. It might not make it all the way down there. And then as you exhale, release the stretch of the band and then pick yourself up from your left side waist. So now I'll do it facing the camera. Exhale to the other side. Side bend to your end range. Once you get there, now I'm gonna stretch the band out. Yes, and try to squeeze an imaginary ball under my armpit. Inhale, I release that. And exhale, pick myself up. So I'm gonna inhale, get tall every time I come back to upright. Exhale, side bend. And then pull down and squeeze imaginary ball under your armpit. Inhale, release that. Exhale, up you go from your side waist. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, pull down, try to squeeze the armpit. Inhale, release that, squeeze. Exhale, up you go. One more time in each direction. Exhale, side bend. Pause, bring it down when you're ready. Inhale, release that. Exhale. Other side, got to even ourselves out. Notice if one side's more stiff or more weak. Remember, we just want to learn about those asymmetries. We might not be able to solve a problem today, but eventually, perhaps we will be able to. So this time, once you bring it back up, release. Take your feet a little wider and take the band behind your back. So even if you can interlace your hands, I want you to hold the band because notice there's more range of motion if my hands are apart. If my hands are together, there's less range of motion. And sometimes that's the goal. We want to try to get the most squeeze that we can. We're not trying to get the most squeeze that we can. We're trying to get the most range of motion in the shoulder. So I like to hold on to it hips width distance, bend the knees, fold forward. Once you get your head down, then take your arms overhead, right? And just as far as you can without forcing. Just want to stretch that part of the shoulders after doing so much overhead work there. And balancing out the work that we're doing with gentle and mindful stretches. And now that you've been here for a few breaths, maybe you could take your arms a little further. Notice that gravity is your friend. I know it doesn't feel that way as we start to age. But in this particular instance, gravity is our friend. So we're going to use it to our advantage. All right, bring the band down to the floor. Let your arms hang for a moment. Give your head a gentle shake, yes. Give your head a gentle shake, no. And then let's roll the spine up again using the core. Pull the belly in, stacking one bone at a time. Pull the belly in. Keep breathing as many breaths as you need here. You just don't want to get dizzy. And usually the breaths are shorter when we're rolling up because we are compacting this area. That's normal. And give yourself a few shoulder rolls. All right, you made it through the work portion of this class. We are going to do a few yummy stretches before we rest. So let's come towards the front edge of our mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up any amount. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening. Keep that length, bend the knees a lot. Plant your hands, step one foot back, step the other foot back. Hold your plank for a moment and just notice, right? We did this whole class without any planks really. But you might be able to feel your core more here in your plank. As you feel ready, shift forward past your wrists, lower your knees. Let's come all the way down to the belly. Hug your elbows in as you do that. And then reach the arms back so your palms are down or up, or you can interlace if you want. So you have three choices. I'm going to do palms down. You do what feels best for you. Start by pushing down into the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift your head and your chest and your arms and reach. Legs active. Exhale, lower down. So you can do that again, or this time lift the legs. Inhale, Shalabhasana, locust pose. Reach back, feel the lats plugging down the back as you reach. And then lower. One more time. Inhale, lift, reach, opening the front of the body, working the back of the body. Exhale, let that go. Hands next to your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Notice the front of your shoulders. If they're dipping down, that's not good. We want to plug those shoulders in so that we're in a stable place here. Push and brace your abs. You can come to all fours or plank, and then downward facing dog. And this is our last down dog here. So let's just luxuriate the breath. Smooth inhale, smooth exhale. One more breath here. Lower to all fours. Give yourself just a couple breaths in child's pose. During this transition, coming from, upright to the more grounding poses, I like to give myself a few pauses here and there, settle the energy as we transition. As you feel ready, inhale, pick yourself up to a seat. And you can sit on a blanket for this or not. We're going to start by finding our wide leg position, right? So this is a Upavista Konasana. And you're going to talk to your hamstrings and your legs and ask your body what's right. For some bodies, this is super comfortable. For me, I like to do one knee bent. That's more comfortable for me. So you do what works best for you. You can do this stretch with both legs out, or we'll alternate. So your choice. Inhale, get tall. If you have one knee bent, that same side, the arm will reach up. As you exhale, you're going to side bend and just slide your hand down and pause. And maybe you can bring your forearm to the ground, right? Or you could put a block there. If you prefer the arm straight, you can just walk that hand further out. So do what feels best for this neck, shoulder, right? Your choice. We're all different. And you can stay here, or we can take it a little deeper. As we exhale, we turn to face that leg. And then I like to take this hand and grab the outside of the foot. And then I let my head go. Deep breaths here. If grabbing the outside of the foot doesn't feel good, then you can always just plant your hand on the inside. So listen to your shoulder. Remember, no pain signals here. It should feel like a deep stretch in your lower back and the lat muscle and the side body, but we're not looking for pain in the neck or shoulder region. As you inhale, you're going to rotate your rib cage and come back to the side bend. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach back up. And we'll switch sides. So if you have one knee bent, you're going to stretch that leg out and switch. If both of your legs are straight, you can always just pause for a moment and do a little windshield wiper. Your choice. So many different ways to practice, and that's great because there's so many different bodies, right? All right, so if you have a bent knee, that arm reaches up. If both legs are straight, obviously you just do the opposite side that you did before. Exhale as you side bend, remembering that you could slide the hand out, you could bend the elbow and rest the forearm, whatever feels best for you. Deep breaths here. As you reach, notice what's happening with the neck. Does it feel better to look up, forward, or down? We'll take one more breath here. So I always like to lengthen the side body before I go into the twist version. And then as you exhale, if you want to take it further, you're going to face the leg. And you can hold on to the outer edge of the foot like I do, or you can put your hand on the inside. Listen to your shoulder on that one. And then eventually I let my head go, because that's what feels good for me. If it feels better to keep your head more level, that's fine too. Deep breath into the side body and the lat. One more breath here. Relax and soften the muscles of your face. And then as you inhale, you rotate your rib cage. So now you're back in the side bend. Exhale, stay here. Use your inhale to help you up. Both arms reach up, try to lift both sides of the waist up. And exhale, let that go. Let's bring both legs forward and just windshield wiper or shake, 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 shake. Okay, let's do something symmetrical. So you could keep both legs straight, or you could come into your Baddha Konasana. So whatever you prefer, but something symmetrical for the back and hips. Inhale as you reach up, get that length. Exhale as you fold, fold, fold. Once you've found the edge, pause there for a moment and see if you can lengthen a little bit more. And then release. And breathe. If you like a more supported pose, I do like to grab my bolster sometimes, or my Coregous ball, which is my impromptu bolster, and I put that under my belly on top of my thighs. So always feel free to use your props, whatever you've got. If it adds comfort, if it adds stability, that's good. Just one more breath here. As you inhale, pull your belly in and stack the spine. So I'm going to drag my hands as I pull in and stack the spine, and then roll the shoulders down. Yay, let's come to our back. Feel free to bring whatever props you want to use for Shavasana. Just grab them. I'm going to grab a block because I often enjoy practicing supported bridge for my Shavasana. So I'm going to ask myself, maybe that's good for my body today. We'll see. Before we set up for Shavasana, let's just give ourselves a little windshield wiper twist to settle the back into the floor. So start by noticing the pelvis. Notice the feet. Take your feet as wide as the mat. And then as you exhale, sway your knees to the right, and maybe you turn your head to the left. Inhale, slowly coming up. Exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale, back up through center. At your own pace, create maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. If there's a different pose you want to practice before Shavasana, maybe that's happy baby for you, or maybe it's a different twist. You do you. This is what helps to ground me and settle my energy. It also helps my hips and my pelvis just to feel a little more comfortable. Preparing my pelvis for the rest. Continue to ask yourself, what do I need? Right? What do you need to feel like this practice is complete and to feel settled? And if you feel ready, let's move into that final rest pose. If there's still another stretch or movement that you need, just go ahead and listen to your body. And then let's take this moment to collectively inhale, creating a full body breath from the soles of the feet to the crown of your head. And now relax the back body against the floor. I'm going to give us a little bit of quiet time to rest. If there's any specific breath practice that you like to utilize for Shavasana, please feel free to go ahead and do that. Or you can allow the breath to flow at its more natural pace. Closing your eyes, softening the facial tone. Giving yourself this chance to simply be. In this moment, notice the feeling of your breath. Any sensations as you inhale and sensations as you exhale. And start your subtle movement, perhaps with a swallow. And then maybe you rub the thumb pad against the finger pads, just generating a little friction there. And start to wiggle the toes. Maybe make some ankle circles. If you feel like you need a longer rest, by all means, stay here and rest for as long as you like. If you feel compelled to reach the arms overhead, I'm going to encourage you to do that, right? And reach and notice the length that we created with the bands today. And as you exhale, bring your arms down, hug your knees into your chest. Feel free to rock side to side or make circles around the sacral bone, moving at a leisurely pace. And if it's comfortable for you, roll to your side. Let your head remain super heavy as you push into your top hand. Exhale. Pick yourself up with as little effort as possible. And let's come to a seat. And I hope that you feel like you're taller and longer in your seat. I know I feel that way today. So let's bring hands together at heart center and acknowledge yourself for showing up to the screen, showing up to your mat. And thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope that you had as much fun as I did. Namaste. All right, next week, shoulders. Yay. Have a beautiful day. Stay cool this weekend. Please hydrate.